Welcome to Careers in Finance. My name is Andrew Stotts, and today we're going to have another discussion with another person who's got an interesting career in finance and an interesting career in general. If you're an engineer or someone that's, have worked into different industries and thought about finance and how you could get involved in finance or what way you want to be involved in finance, today's discussion is going to be interesting for you. Today's discussion is with Thaksapohn Peerapatpokin, and I'm going to invite her to come in. Nickname is Zan, so let me see if we can get her on to the show. Hopefully, there she is. So,
Hi.
Thaksapohn, how are you?
Hi. Hello, John Andrew. I'm fine. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. It's a holiday, right, in Thailand. So you and I have
Yeah,
had
right.
a relaxing day, a little bit of work, a little bit of running around. I went to the gym
Yes.
earlier, and I think you were out running around. But maybe we can start off with you telling everybody about what you're doing right now, like what's your current career, and so we
Mm-hmm.
understand that, and then we're going to go into some more of your background.
Okay. Yes. Um, First of all, thank you for having me here today. It is my pleasure to every time that I talk to you. It is my pleasure and my honor. And so thank you again. So let me start with introducing myself. My name is San. My first name is Thaksapohn, but you can call me San. Uh, I'm currently working with MQDC Metaverse Corporation Limited, and my current title is the Vice President. I has been in this role for 1.5 years, and so maybe let me talk about a little bit what is this company is
Mm.
doing and what is my role on this
It's an
company.
interesting name, right?
Mhm.
Metaverse.
Yeah. I believe that many of you may know MQDC from our reputation on the uh, asset on the real estate industrial. MQDC is quite popular and well known in this area. So why we are doing metaverse and how MQDC is going to do metaverse right now. So, um, actually, what we think about is like we are at this stage where all the technologies is ready for everybody that can have their physical presence and virtual presence together and seamlessly. So, with the MQDC, we would like to leverage our knowledge, our expertise in the real estate industrial. We are focusing our core value is our well-being. So by bridging the expertise that we have in real world, we would like to use that expertise by developing the virtual world, or we can call it metaverse. And we would like to make uh, ultimate goal, or the aiming point is we would like to help building the world a better place. So we would like to drive the collective actions in the virtual world using our expertise in the real world, and then making the world making it a better place.
And for the business, which I believe that is the name
Mhm.
still Magnolia, or is it just MQDC?
It's MQDC.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And so the company originally started off with a lot of real estate projects, or and then how is it transitioned? Because when you use the word metaverse, it makes everybody think, okay, what is this?
Yeah.
What does it
Right.
mean?
hmm Actually, MQDC is a holding company, and we there are several projects and several companies under MQDC, which is not only real estate but other business unit that is related to real estate, like tradings, import and export as well. And MQDC Metaverse is another business unit that the owner creating to help. First one is to the digital transformation of the organization, and second one is to creating leverage the expertise on the our well-being in the physical world to building the virtual world.
And for an old guy like me,
Mhm.
I don't even understand what that means about the virtual world. some of the people listening and viewing, they may understand it, but what does it mean, the virtual world, and how, give us like an example of how you could do something in the virtual world.
Yeah. For example, like you can meet your friends, you can meet your relative parents who are living very far away from you. And the experience that you meet with them is quite real, is quite similar to we meeting them in the physical present. Like when I talking to you like this, right? We know that we are talking via the screen. I can see only 2 dimension of your faces, but
Mm.
in the metaverse, we can see 3 dimension. We can touch, we can hear it surrounding, similar to what it is like we are talking in person.
And is that something that you guys have developed, or is there like software that you use that's a common software, or how does it work?
Mhm. We have strategies that either using developing our own software or using the software in the market. There are the pros and cons, and we are under the development.
Mm. And what is a typical way that someone could, somebody that's interested in the
Mhm.
metaverse, they're interested in let's say a company owner owns a company, or somebody owns a business and they don't know anything about metaverse. You guys have learned a lot about it. What's
Mhm.
like the first step that they could take?
I would say that you can. For now, actually, there are quite a lot of platform that
Mm.
you can experience the metaverse experience, like using the Oculus Quest, the goggles. Those using starting with not using not much money, like 10,000
Mm.
baht, and you can the first step is to experience it, see what it is about, and then from that point, I think every business owner can see how your business can fit with those experience that we are going to have it in the future.
So now let's take a step back and try to understand a little bit about your
Mm-hmm.
background. We met,
Yeah.
you were in Valuation Masterclass Bootcamp number 3, and
Yes.
that was, you graduated, I think it was in April of 2022, is from what I remember. And before we go on, let's say some hi to some of our listeners. There's Mercy. Good to see you. And Mercy graduated not only boot camp, but also Evaluation Masterclass Professional. So impressive. And then we had Abdi Samad. Welcome to the show. And if anybody's got questions, feel free to ask your questions. But so let's take a step back and talk about like what you did before you went to MQD DC.
MQDC.
Sorry, MQDC. What did you do before that?
Yeah. I it's let's say long story
Mm.
short. I earned my bachelor degrees in mechanical engineering, and I from that time I immediately joined oil and gas company upon my graduation. And at that time, 10 plus years ago, I was assigned to taking care of the critical equipment on the offshore platform. My responsibility is to make sure that is continuous operations and is efficient. Yeah. Uh-huh. So you may curious what is the turbo machinery equipment that I'm taking care. Is written in the
Mm.
description that you are writing under what I has been
Mm.
expertise. Actually, turbo machinery equipment, one of it is the jet engine that is underneath the airplane wings. So we are using the similar engine that jet engine in the oil and gas platform. We use to build up the pressures of the gas and oil that we dig it from under the sea, and then we transport it into the shore. So my responsibility at that time is I taking care of them. I flying to offshore a lot, has so many experience, and thank you so much for my company for having me and give me a lot of responsibility so I can learn a lot on that time. And after working for 5 or 6 years, I came to realize that actually there are 3 areas that is very important to everybody life, everyone in this
Mm.
world. Those 3 areas: finance, businesses and investment. Understanding finance and businesses can bring your career into the next level, can bring you to the management level, bring you to the upper management like C level. And on the other hand, an investment wisely is also very essential and crucial for your happily retirement. So with those realization that I have in that time, I start my journey in the area of finance and investment right away.
So
Okay.
you were
I
making good money as an engineer, but you
Yeah,
also
right. Yes.
realized that you had to manage that money carefully, right?
Yes, you are right.
Mm.
Mhm.
Before we go further, I saw there was an interesting question. We were talking about metaverse, and Ben says, "Is any
Mhm.
metaverse platform related with blockchain technology?"
Oh, yes. Actually, it is a lot in the market, and we can use that. Let's say that blockchain can help enabling the metaverse platform to be interoperable. We can link to metaverse platform with different owner, different creators, and can link it together using the blockchain technologies. But I myself thought that this one, the technology is not mature yet, and they are under development, and we need a lot of fine tuning and working together to make it works.
So let's go back to your, you know, your life, you know, your career. You're making good money. You start to learn about investing. Maybe you can
Yeah.
talk about Dynotech 5.0 and what is that, and
Oh,
what are
sure.
you doing, and maybe tell us more about that.
Okay. Yes. Uh, Before I joined the metaverse, I did several things, and Dynotech is one of my activities that during my free time. I am the co-founder of the Dynotech 5.0 fan page on Facebook. So if anyone interesting, you can search Dynotech 5.0 via Facebook, and you know those page.
Hmm.
So talking about Dynotech, what is Dynotech, right? Uh, I would say that we are the one of the foresight research group. Uh, this group is initiated by Ajahn Thavisuk, and Ajahn Thavisuk is one of my honor masters who taught me a lot in the finance area. His idea is he would like to bring together the like-minded who are passionate about research and also loving sharing when the research has been once we have conduct the research, those people also love sharing to others as well. The aim of this group is to assist Thai people in preparing themselves for the upcoming 4.0 industrial revolution. So, for an industrial revolution, I think we are now uh, we are now a part of it already. So, for an
Mhm.
industrial revolution to happen, I thought that there are two key components that must be synced together. First is the technological advancement. For example, like we are having AI today, we having an IoT equipment, we have the autonomous cars, we have the blockchain technologies and robotics. So those are technological advancement. And second key components is the finance and or economic engine has to be ready to fueling the innovation that's gonna be happen.
Mhm.
So innovation can happen by without having money, right? So by understanding both economic cycle, understanding finance investment, know where's money goes, where's money went through. So this will enhance our understanding of the entire revolution. So we Dynotech, we endeavor to bring those together, bring those two components together, and we deliver a foresight research through live streamings and posts, seminars, and also course and books.
Mm. And what are the type of people that are following the page and following what you guys are doing? We've included a link in the chat so that people can go and check it out. But tell us a little bit about the type of people that are there.
Mm-hmm. Our fan page consists of several types of people. There are business owners who falling to understand what we're gonna see in the future, what technological is coming into our life. There are the business owner who would like to understand economic and the global economic as well to prepare their businesses to be ready for the like recession or the upcoming revolution.
Mm.
There are the I would say that there are office people as well who are interested in investment. Since we do a bit of foresight research, we try to see what is going to happen in the future. So who love investment come to our page and see what is going to be the next industrial that they would like to invest. Mhm.
Interesting. And what are some of the things that you guys are talking about the future, or what's interesting in your discussions?
What's interesting in mm, can you give
Well,
me
like,
more
are there
explanation?
any future trends that you guys are talking about? Or, we've already talked about metaverse and that type of thing. I'm just curious, like, if people go to that Facebook page, what are some of the discussion points
Mm-hmm.
that they'll be, listening to, or reading or seeing?
Ah, I see. Like how AI would change our working.
Mm.
That is first one. And what is China right now? What is economic in China, and what is the people lifestyle in China, and how it how advanced of China nowadays, and like what is the economic outlook. That those session that I have been talking to you is one of the area that when people come, you will be seeing that.
Yeah, and this so China's interesting, what's going on there, and you know, it's been a really rough time for China over the last couple of years. But, ultimately there's just so much raw power of people wanting to do business and, succeed. So it'll be interesting to see how China comes out of the current situation. Recently, I saw that
Yeah.
China also had their One Belt, One Road meeting with countries coming from around the world, or leaders from countries around the world, which was
Mm-hmm.
fascinating. So China is such an interesting one, particularly given that we're here in Thailand and it matters what's happening with China. And what would you say is your area that you like looking at the most? Is it about the future trends? Is it about China? Is it about market? Is it about companies? Is it about, new businesses? What is it that gets you most interested?
For me is the market, the global economic outlook. Yeah, since this is, I believe this time is the challenging time where there are so many political geopolitics around the world, and uh, there are many conflicts, and those conflicts can lead to hot wars. Actually, there was hot war
Mm.
already, but they can lead to the bigger one, and those wars can change all of the landscape in the investment and in the economic as well. So, who can be the one who rule the world after USA? So, those one who will be the person who's setting the rules, and we all the countries need to follow the rules. And by now we don't know yet, and we are going to be in the conflict for I believe it's 10 to 20 years.
Mm. And it may not be that there's a particular country that wants to come in and set all the rules. And I mean, being the policeman of the world is an extremely expensive thing. If we look at the US, if you look
Yes.
at debt, the Chinese government debt that they went into, particularly they did a lot of debt issuances after the 2008 crisis. But if you were to look at
Yes.
all the money that they spend and add up the benefit that Chinese people got, you would find a lot of benefit of railways in particular that were built with that money. But when you look at the last 10 billion or so, maybe 15 billion, or sorry, trillion dollars that the US has spent, there's not really any benefit. It was spent for war and other things. So it's not like there was some amazing infrastructure, that was
Mm-hmm.
built. And that's one of the problems that being a policeman to the world is that it ends up draining. And I would
Yeah.
say that US leaders are kind of foolishly being drained right now, and they're losing their ability to lead, I would argue. It's
Yeah. Like you
it,
said. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's interesting,
Like
and
we
it's
talk.
it's
Yeah.
it's a challenging environment to invest in, because you've also got the component of, let's say, the Fed that could come in at
Right.
any time and become a buyer of last resort of
Yes.
stocks, bonds, and then all of a sudden, things fly. Whereas on the other hand, you could say, no, now's the time to own gold, as an example.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little bit of a mix. Also, we've got a potential change in president next year in 2024 with the
Yes.
election. That may change the direction of the US, and maybe
Hopefully in the good way.
that's the hard part,
Yeah.
to try to predict. That's my next big report I'm working on, is my prediction of the next
Mm-hmm.
election, and what's the outcome and what's it going to mean. And it's got to be one of the most difficult things to figure out.
Yeah. I would like to read those research papers.
Yeah, that's what, maybe I'll have to come to Dynotech and talk about it once
Well,
I've
thank
come up
you.
with that. So tell us a little bit more about, your interest in finance. I know you attended the Valuation Masterclass boot camp, and
Mm-hmm.
did you also attend one of the live sessions that we did at like a loft? I don't know if you went to any of those live sessions that we did.
I
That
don't.
was
I didn't.
way before we did the online boot camp. But tell us a little bit about, why you attended the Valuation Masterclass boot camp and what you got from it.
Oh yes, sure. I um I really um so in the investment world and the finance world, I personally believe that valuation is the most important part, since this market are mixed about the speculations and what is the real value underneath. We have to separate the speculation part from the valuation part. So that's why valuation masterclass is very interested to me, and I then registration and then study and going to those parts right away. And actually, there are two parts that I love this course the most. First one, I love the framework. I so looking back, I think the difficult part for everybody that who don't know where to start, I think is the you because you don't know anything, so you don't know what to start, right?
Mhm.
So this course, the Evaluation Masterclass course, help equip you with the framework. So those framework help you making the starting point, so you know where to start, and then from those points it will enabling you to delve deeper by yourself. So if for people who don't know anything, who don't know where to start, you should be know the framework first, and then you can going through by yourself, and this class help providing a lot of framework for valuation. And the second one, what I love love a lot from this course is the consulting session. I for who you would like to attend this course, you will have a one-on-one session with Ajahn Andrew, and Ajahn Andrew will provide you a comprehensive mentorship to your finance career. And being in this part, I from engineering background, even though I graduated from Master of Finance, I passed the CFA level 3 exam. I still feel a bit lost where to start because I don't know who in the industry that I can talk to. So if you would like to have experienced person who are very have a heart to help you, I think Ajahn Andrew is the most person that I think you can help you a lot in the finance career.
Yeah, the one-on-ones are really fun for me too. It's kind of the best part. In fact, I keep
Mm-hmm.
notes on every single one-on-one I have with every student. In fact, I'm looking at my notes I took when you and I talked, to try to understand a little bit more about you. It's kind of interesting. And you were talking about your strengths, like determination, results driven, collaborative, which I think you and I have done some collaborations, which, I was looking at
Yeah.
that and thinking about it. And then your research and analytical skill, come across as some of your strengths. So personally, I love the one-on-one, and basically I don't do that until the end of the course, because I don't want to have one-on-ones with people that drop out. And so
I see.
we have about a 70% pass rate, 30% dropout rate.
Mm-hmm.
But for those people that survive, we do the one-on-one. So it's interesting, because when I look at the valuation masterclass boot camp today compared to where it was when you took it in boot camp number 3, we're just going into boot camp number 12.
Wow.
And it's you wouldn't even recognize it. And it's one of the philosophies that I have, is that we must constantly improve. And the reason why we do the boot camp 5 times a year is
Mm-hmm.
because every time we do it, we get recommendations from students, and we have ideas ourselves about how we can improve, and then we implement and test those things. And what I'm getting excited for the next boot camp is that basically what we're going to do, I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to have some discussions internally, but my idea at this point is that we're going to pick an industry, let's say
Mm-hmm.
automotive industry. And in the first week of the boot camp, all students in the boot camp are going to work together to create an industry analysis of the automotive industry. It's not going to be massive, but it's going to be all the information we can pull together, working as a total team and group. And then once we've done that, then each team will be assigned a company within the industry. So it could be Volkswagen, it could be Tesla, it could be
Mm-hmm.
Toyota, it could be, any of these different companies. And then the teams will start working on their companies together. And so that's just one of the many different, innovations that we've been trying to do to try to improve. We also now have switched. This time we're going to switch our team meetings, which teams have meetings every Wednesday. Now we're going to switch that to Tuesday. And so I'm going to lecture for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to go into team meetings. So it doesn't take more time for the students to
Mm-hmm.
have to spend that time. They're already online for that. So we've got about 10 different improvements, including improving the reports that the students are creating. But I always, also, I've incorporated about 20 life lessons in the boot camp. And
Oh,
so at the
wow.
beginning of every boot camp, we start off and I talk about one life lesson. And then those are all pulled together into 20 life lessons that the students, and I see from the testimonials that the students really got a lot of value from those.
Mm.
Even more importantly, you know what else we do that we didn't do back then? Is we start every boot camp session, live session, with a breathing exercise.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like a
Interesting.
meditation through
Yeah.
breathing. We've been
Mm-hmm.
doing this for 4 boot camps now, I think, maybe 5. And it's a fantastic way to forget about what's going on in the world and focus in on, what we're doing. So many different things. So I'm enjoying it. But the message I want to share to students like yourself and others is good, better, best. Never stop to rest until your good is better and your better is the best. So tell us about something that you've been improving in your life, in your
Mm-hmm.
work or at Dynotech or in your personal life. What's something that you feel like you've been making some good progress on?
Okay. I I think I do a lot of progress in first is shifting the career. I think this one is the most advancement that I progress in my life. I never thought that I would change from being an engineer to coming into the middle management position at my age. And those is contributing for many factors behind. And Kun Andrew, I from this discussion with you, I did prepare some information.
Mm,
So I tracked back myself. I took 8 years to be preparing myself, building my expertise in finance until I fully embarking in this finance related career. So I think this is one of the most advancement, and if you not give up, I think everybody can do it in your in one day. I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good lesson is to
Mm-hmm.
figure out the area that you want to improve in and then just slowly and steadily work on it.
Yeah. Right.
Um, I've been working on some improvements, and the big one is that I wanted to just get better in business. And so I went on Amazon and I scraped all the data of the top
Mm-hmm.
500 business books. And then I went on Goodreads website and I did the same. And then I took every one of those books and I created one line for each one with all the ratings from both. And then I created a composite score as an analyst for each book. And then I ranked each book by that composite score of attractiveness from the reader perspective. And I was able to identify the best books of all time. And from that, I divided them into groups: sales, marketing, management, strategy, things like that. And now I have a whole course that I've been getting ready to launch, which I call No Book MBA. And I've written a
Oh.
course on each one of those books, and I've created cheat sheets for each book. But it's whole progress, whole thing of me trying to improve myself, that now I can see that I can bring this out to the world. So
Mm.
that's something I've been working on a lot to improve myself and learning a lot about sales and marketing and those types of things, even though I've definitely learned a lot over the years. But the point is we can always improve.
Yes, I believe.
In fact, the one that I like the most is strategy. And how do you set your corporate strategy? How do you make sure that you really are differentiated with that
Mm.
strategy? How do you make sure that you're really implementing that strategy? So what I was thinking about is going out and creating a live event where we have, let's say, 4 sessions where it's all about creating strategy for business owners and business leaders. So that's my next big project.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about taking care of your health, your physical, your habits, your exercise, your diet? Tell us a little bit about what your personal,
Oh, sure.
style is.
Yeah. I do you believe actually I am a vegetarian. Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
believe it. If you say it, I believe it.
Yeah. I it is good for your health and is also some a bit of religious, but I I don't wanna hurt animals anymore if I can.
Mm,
So I decide to change to becoming a vegetarian one almost 2 years ago. Mhm. Yeah. And I think first I don't think I can do it, but when time pass by, is 1 year pass, 2 year pass, so I am very okay with it, and I think I make a good decision at that time.
mm.
Yeah. And I for my health, I do an exercise 4 times a week. Yeah, I know that Conan do also exercise in the morning as well, right? And
Yep.
I also did in the morning, try to wake up earlier and then running around my condominium and then start working.
Mm. What time do you start working?
About 7 or 8. Yeah, 7,
Mm.
8,
And
7 a.m.
are you going to the office or you work from home?
The week I have and in a week I have to be in an office 2 days a week.
Mm.
So 3 days at home and 2 days at the office.
Tell us about what you've learned from doing the Dynotech. A lot of
Mhm.
people want to have a community, or they want to
Yeah.
have a web page, or they want to have a Facebook group or something like that. But sometimes they don't realize how hard it is, to
Mhm.
gather people and to deliver what people want. Maybe you could just give some of your experience from that.
Okay. Yes, sure. Um, Dynotech is to begin with, Dynotech is not that popular, that much popular, but I believe myself that if I continuing doing, I still deliver the information and have a good heart by bringing the good things to the community that I have been in the Dynotech. I think that's will
Mm,
be help a lot of people. So I didn't do it for like to try to make it 100 1 million subscriber like that, but I know that what I'm doing what I trying to research and what I gathering info, try to gathering info on the global economic technologies will help the community right now, will help them can design their futures better. So that is my basis of doing. So for any people who would like to have a fan page or would like to grow their community, I believe it would start from what you like to contribute to the social or to the communities, and then starting what you like. So if two things in can be the same things or can be intercept, I think those would be the power that help you keep doing it and persistent.
So it's got to really be something that you're passionate about, you're interested in. The other thing is I noticed that some Facebook groups, they do video, some do
Mm-hmm.
live videos, some do posts that are text. Some of them do drawings where the person running the group draws out things and presents mind maps or other types of drawings. Some are, like to teach and teach a topic, whereas others like to get people discussing.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like, uh, what's your style? Because I think the other message that I would say from what I've seen is that make sure that you're doing it in an area that you really are passionate about, but also make sure that you're doing it using the style that works for you. If you're
Oh,
shy and you don't like video, that's no, don't try to do video. Don't look at another one and say, "Oh, that person's so good at video, I should do video." No, focus on what your strength is. So what are your thoughts about that?
yeah. In Dynatech, we mainly in the past we keep both posting and live video, and once the many the co-founder is very busy, so we tend to have it in the live streaming, because in the live streaming is we can show the pictures, we can show the presentation, and pictures can help explain better than text. Uh, So we use discussion, live streaming, and using the presentation to help people understand more.
And how often do you deliver content to your audience?
Yeah.
By the way,
Uh,
it's not small. I mean, you got almost 40,000 followers. And also, when you post something, you get a lot of likes and, all that. So, that's great. But yeah, tell us about how often you're delivering content or value to the audience.
mhm. We try to keep it at least once a month, or if we have attending special event like for last 2 months I have been in China, so I look around attending the events and then bring the insight from an event to bring back and then talk to the people who follow the fan page, so they will know what is China is about right now. So I try to make it once a month, but in so there may be some special occasion that there will be more than.
Mm. And so, yeah, video is such a it's a great way to do it because although you have to prepare for a presentation and stuff, sometimes it's good that people can ask questions or
Yes.
share their experience, which I find interesting. I
Right.
mean, it's part of why I love to do the podcast, My Worst Investment Ever,
Mhm.
because I just have amazing conversations. I'm just looking forward to one of the people that I'm going to be interviewing, who's a very big name guy in the U.S. investing community, and just preparing myself, reading so much stuff. But ultimately, the conversation aspect of it is what's so fun. The back and forth. So.
Yes.
What would be some advice for young people that are listening here that want to build a career in finance, or they want to build a career, but they also want to have some
Mhm.
foot in finance? Maybe you could give some advice for them.
Okay, sure. I first of all believe in yourself and be persistent in your effort. So if you not give up, is good things will happen, right? And even though some success may be attributed to lucks, but it won't happen. Nothing won't happen if you don't take the initial step. Luck will be the later part, but you have to be uh, make determine and then make decision and then starting your first step. in every career that you would like to pursue. Mm. And remember that good things take time. For me, I take 8 years until I can doing some career shift, and I thank you to myself that I dedicate my time during the past my past. I already thank to my past life, not past life, my past self.
Mm.
That okay, you not give up and you will be able to achieve your goal in one day. Mhm.
I think
And
that
yeah,
part's great advice because, nothing good comes easy. You have to work at it every
yeah,
day and or every week or every month and,
right.
make progress.
Yes.
Um, is there anything else that you'd like to share before we wrap up?
Mm-hmm. I think the one one last thing that I would like to give, maybe sharing some advices to the young people who are just graduated, is leverage the technologies to your advantage. Nowadays, you can learn everything by yourself. You don't have to be in the classroom. You don't have to be attending, paying the course. You can learn everything from by yourself via an internet and using an AI at your advantage as well. So by doing that, I believe that you will be advanced in your career and you will be success.
That's great advice. And yeah, it's amazing. In fact, education, the typical education is kind of going down. If you look
Yes.
at how awful education is, formal education compared to, what you can find, even just everything free online. There's
Mm.
just so much out there. And the
Yes.
books, you got free podcasts, you just got so much stuff out there. So there's really no excuse. I think the challenge is finding your passion. And for you to observe how you've progressed in your career, to move up to middle management. And I know, over time, you're going to be at C-suite level and, being a bigger and bigger leader, but also to see you, growing in your finance knowledge and skills and your research and communication, to your audience at Dynotech. It's fantastic. So I think you're an inspiration for everyone.
Thank you.
So I look forward to having another conversation over at Dynotech, and let's
Sure.
talk about maybe the next U.S. election or what's
Sure.
going on out there. There's so many things. So yeah, we
Mhm.
got someone that wrote down the advice here: believe in yourself, believe in your effort. Good things take time. Don't give up. You'll achieve your goal one day. And that was Omo Tosho, who said that, Oluwasen. So yes, that's great. Great points. Believe in yourself. We've learned a lot tonight. And I just want to, again, thank you. And I'm going to log you off for a second, and you and I will talk for a couple of minutes after
Sure.
this. So, again,
Yeah.
thanks. And we
Thank you.
appreciate. Yep.
It's my honor to be here.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Hold on. I'll be there in just a second. So wasn't that great? So many different things and building a career while also working on a Facebook group. But also, I think what's interesting from my perspective is Zan's, persistence. And I think that's something she's communicated very well. I just want to highlight to everybody that the Careers in Finance is sponsored by Valuation Masterclass Bootcamp, and you can get $100 extra off with the codes live or student live if you're a student. And that's at valuationmasterclass.com/bootcamp, or just scan the QR code. My name is Andrew Stotz, and I want to thank you all for joining into this fantastic discussion of careers in finance.